Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for WWE 205 Live for April 23rd, 2019. And we had the commentary team of Aiden English, Vic Joseph, and David Otunga. We took Nigel McGuinness's place because Nigel McGuinness was in NXT UK doing the Performance Center stuff. So, yeah. I gotta say, David Otunga still isn't good on commentary. I'm glad he doesn't do it anymore because basically this whole show was called by Aiden English and Vic Joseph, pretty much. So, yeah. Um, but the show opens up with one of those promos introducing us to the show, but instead of Drake Maverick doing it, this time it was Drew Gulak, and Drew Gulak talks about all the changes that have taken place recently in the cruiserweight division, and he announces the two matches that are going to be on this show. First one being Oni Lorcan versus Arya Daivari, where the winner will face Tony Nese in the future for the cruiserweight championship. Um, and he talks a little bit about that match, um, and says that all they're going to be doing is just um, you know um, pretty much being filler for Destiny when Drew Gulak eventually takes his rightful place as cruiserweight champion, and then he hypes up his match with Humberto Carrillo and says that he's going to teach Humberto Carrillo about safe ground mat based wrestling. And I like this, I kind of hope this kind of becomes, like a normal thing where the superstars will do the promos. I still like when Drake Maverick does them, but, I think it's something different for the, superstars to do the promos. I know the previous episode, Tony Nese did one, so I enjoyed this. Then, um, we had Drew Gulak versus Humberto Carrillo, but before the match, gentleman Jack Gallagher posted a video on Instagram talking about how he's not there on this episode because he had to have stitches on his mustache. But he says that the reason he turned his back on Drew Gulak um, he is because he felt like Drew Gulak really didn't see him as a friend. He just thought he was using gentleman Jack Gallagher, and he had suspicions about it. But then the suspicions were made clear once he cost him his match with Humberto Carrillo 2 episodes ago, and he says that he's going to make Drew Gulak the worst adversary he's ever faced. I like this though. It promotes Gentleman Jack Gallagher. I don't know if he's a face or a heel yet though. It really wasn't made clear here, so that would be interesting. But we had the match. I thought this was a pretty damn good cruiserweight match here. They both start doing chain wrestling holds, and Drew Gulak starts at first out wrestling Humberto Carrillo. But Humberto Carrillo hits a lot of um, really quick moves on Drew Gulak, setting him outside the ring, and he goes on top of the turnbuckle, and Drew Gulak threatens him to get down, but Humberto Carrillo forces him to come up. So he goes on the apron. Humberto Carrillo hits a right hand on him. He hits a wicked enziguri, and then he hits a you know a a springboard crossbody, and then he hits like a springboard into like an arm drag, which is pretty cool. And then Drew Gulak gets the heat in this match. He works over the legs of Humberto Carrillo with a Indian Deathlock and things like that. Then eventually Humberto Carrillo mounts a comeback. He hits a springboard back elbow, a springboard crossbody, a really cool drop kick from like the top of the steel post. But he doesn't get the win, and then eventually goes for another springboard high crossbody. But Drew Gulak counters it into the ankle lock. But Humberto Carrillo is able to hit an enziguri on to Drew Gulak to get out of it. And then Gulak goes for the Gulak when Humberto Carrillo reverses it. And then eventually he goes for the moonsault, but Drew Gulak crotches him on the top turnbuckle. And he goes to hit a superplex, which is Drew Gulak leaving his feet, not being safe on the mat. And Humberto Carrillo reverses it. He, you know, tosses Gulak off the top turnbuckle, and he hits um, the Azar moonsault, which like the split-legged moonsault he's been hitting. I forget the exact name of the finisher for the win. And I thought it made sense for Humberto Carrillo to win. It puts him over. As a new superstar. So I actually like this. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. So yeah, really nothing to complain about. And then Oni Lorcan does a promo backstage and talk about how he's fought for years to get an opportunity to prove why he's the best and to become cruiserweight champion. And the only person standing between him and a match with the champion is Ariya Daivari. So I like this promo. And then Ariya Daivari does a promo backstage, and he says that he's not all about making friends anymore ever since he's gone solo. He's been undefeated in 2019, and he says that he's been in the cruiserweight division since day one, and he's the only one that hasn't received a cruiserweight championship match. So he says that he's going to make an example out of Owen Lorcan. I thought both of these promos were very good to build it up to the main event. And then the Kanellises and Drake Maverick are backstage, and Drake Maverick is about to talk to them about Maria Kanellis interfering in the Fatal 4 match on the previous episode, which is like a couple weeks ago at this point. But the Brian Kendrick comes up and he starts to have a conversation with them, saying that he's not a fan of Maria Kanellis interfering in Akira Tozawa's matches. And he says that he's not here to defend him because Akira Tozawa can fight his own battles. Maria Kanellis says that maybe Akira Tozawa is going to look at himself in the mirror for the reason he's failed all these matches, but he's saying that he's too much of a coward to do that. And then the Brian Kendrick says, again, I'm just here to talk. And Mike Kanellis says, then why are you here? And he says, I'm here for a distraction. Akira Tozawa attacks Mike Kanellis. They get into a brawl. It has to get broken up by officials, one of the officials being Sanjay Dutt. And Drake Maverick pulls them back, and Mike Kanellis uses this as a sucker punch Akira Tozawa. And then that was that. I like this, though. I really like I like the feud between, Mike Kanellis and Akira Tozawa. And I did think that the Brian Kendrick was funny here, so I like this. And then we had the main event. It was a Cruiserweight Championship #1 contenders match. Oney Lorcan versus Ariya Daivari. I thought this was a really good match here. Oney Lorcan starts off the matchup really aggressive, hitting a lot of really nice uppercuts and really stiff shots onto Ariya Daivari. He goes for a dive on the outside. Ariya Daivari, too, tried to win the match, too, right away with the hammerlock clothesline. I liked that bit of the match. But Ariya Daivari hits a wicked right hand when Oney Lorcan goes for a dive. And he dominates the match for a while. Oney Lorcan would have, moments when he would have a comeback, but Ariya Daivari would continuously cut him off with like a reverse DDT or throw him on the outside and bounce his head off the announce table. And Tony Nese came out to watch this match. He was going to do commentary, but he said that this is more important. It's more important for him to scout the competition. Oney Lorcan mounts a comeback. He hits some wicked uppercuts onto Daivari. Hits the blockbuster off the ropes, and Ariya Daivari hits a super kick out of nowhere. Doesn't get the win. He goes for the Persian splash. Oney Lorcan moves out of the way. Ariya Daivari a handful of times, actually 2 times in this match, got Oney Lorcan into the $1 Million Dream, but Oney Lorcan fought out of it a couple of times, and then he hit some wicked palm strikes and hit some wicked uppercuts. Ariya Daivari went to go off the top rope, but Oney Lorcan caught him into an uppercut, and then he hit some hip attacks in the corner, but then eventually Ariya Daivari hits the super kick into the Persian splash, into the hammerlock clothesline, and gets the win, which makes sense since Ariya Daivari is a heel, Tony Nese is a face, and Ariya Daivari has been kind of getting like a little bit of a push, so it makes sense to put him in the Cruiserweight title picture. Then afterwards, him and Tony Nese have a face-off, and Tony Nese offers to shake his hand, but Ariya Daivari says, I don't want that, I want the championship, and Ariya Daivari tells him that you're going to have to take it from me, and they walk off, and then that was the end of the show. I actually really liked 205 Live. I thought it was a really good show. I'm going to give it a B. I thought, it built to a future title match. I really liked, the continuation of the Mike Kanellis, Akira Tozawa feud. I also liked, Humberto Carrillo versus Drew Gulak, so I liked it. One of the flaws about 205 Live is now that we don't have, Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy and, other people gone, it doesn't really feel like, that there's a lot of star power on it at the moment. And now it especially feels like that because Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander were 2 of like the big stars in the Cruiserweight division, so I kind of hope that changes soon, that they add some new superstars into the Cruiserweight division, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I still really like this show. I'm going to give it a B. Thought it was really good. I think what also hurt it was the commentary a little bit. Having David Otunga out there versus Nigel is a completely different. So other than that, though, really good show. I'm giving it a B. That's pretty much the end of this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and No One the Talking to YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.